Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about the New Hampshire. We're going to talk about a very unique aspect of the New Hampshire results that is a win specifically for the Democrat Party. All right. Okay, so the Democrats are a very, very unique party in that they have for a long time claimed to care about intersectionality. Right now, that's a big question. Actually, both sides. Actually, for a long time, both sides claim to care about intersectionality. Republicans and the Democrats. Right now, under the Donald Trump, the Donald Trump period is a very strange period in time, and intersection and Republicans' relationship with intersectionality right now. There'll be books written about that for 50 years, and I'll let them comment on it. It's very unusual. But the Democrats, they have projected for a long time that they care about intersectionality. Now, there is a question mark after that about how much do the Democrats care about intersectionality. Elizabeth Warren in debate number 8 said Democrats have a tradition of it's election time, and we roll into black churches and we say a bunch of words and get their votes, and then as soon as we're elected, we forget that event ever happened and do very little for that community. And I don't think she's wrong. That's a little bit of a paraphrase of what she said, but that was her message, right? And boy, I think she's very right about as far as the Democrats' relationship as far as going to a specific community and saying we need your votes, and then what they deliver for that community after they've been elected. That's challenging. It's tough. That's tough, right? But New Hampshire did deliver a very real, very unquestionable victory for the Democrats that is just like President Obama's election, right? So President Obama's election is an unquestionable victory for the Democrats when it comes to intersectionality, right? So the Democrats elected the first African-American president in history. They shattered the history of the 43 era attribute, right? There were, their first 43 presidents shared two attributes, which is just terrible that anybody would have chosen those two attributes to select, a president from. And President Obama shattered it, right? Shattered one of those attributes, and said, hey, it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, you can be president. I voted for Obama twice. I'm very proud to have shattered that horrible tradition in American history. But now New Hampshire has shattered a new tradition, and it's important that to recognize when the Democrats are delivering what they're projecting, right? Because in politics, projection and framing and saying, oh, I'm for XYZ, and then not delivering, that happens a lot, right? So when you're dealing with politicians and they say, oh, XYZ is the reality, you better fact check. Fact checking is a reason for something, right? And with the Democrats, they have actually delivered something really special and unique, and I think it's worth taking a moment to recognize. So here we are, right? We just finished the New Hampshire primary, and we have standings for delegates, okay? So we're in the first primary race in history to have this situation, okay? And what is that situation? Well, let's look at the standings right now. Right now, in the Democrat primary, the standings are total delegate count between Iowa and New Hampshire. You have Pete Buttigieg at 23 delegates. Pete Buttigieg is winning the Democrat primary race. Then you have Sanders at 21. Then you have Elizabeth Warren at 8, and you have Amy Klobuchar at 7. Okay. Now, what is the intersectionality that the Democrats have actually addressed? Well, it's gender. Okay. This is the first primary in history where if you look at the top 4 candidates, and if you look at the majority of the delegates that have been won, they are split across gender. 2 men, 2 women. That's incredible. That's never, ever, 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 ever happened. Not on the Republican side and not on the Democrat side, right? So here, the Democrats project that they care about intersectionality, right? They've been doing that for decades, right? Now, there are times where, in my opinion, the Democrats have horribly, horribly failed. The debate number 7 is an absolute horrible failure of the Democrats doing what they say, right? If you know, like Tom Steyer said, we are incredibly diverse, right? In debate number 8, Tom Steyer said we're a diverse party. If you look at debate number 7 and you look at the candidates on the stage, you would not see that diversity there. There are lots of groups that are represented within the Democrat Party, and they were not represented anywhere on stage in debate number 7. And guess what? It's likely to be exactly the same on debate number 9. So there are times where the Democrats fall down, and actually they're projecting a care and a dedication to intersectionality, but the reality is different. But right here in this moment, the Democrats can absolutely celebrate where the reality matches the projection, right? And for a long time, the Democrats have been saying, we care about women in politics. We care about women having successes in politics. We care about supporting women in leadership. And that is absolutely shown in what is in the numbers in the primary race right now. Now, of course, it is a problem that the 2 women are behind the 2 men. That matches the tradition that we've seen in America for 200 plus years, right? But things are done progressively, right? We make progress, and we make the world better through progress. And I think it's really exciting that the Democrats are making the projection match the reality when it comes to their dedication to their dedication to intersectionality when it comes to gender. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, of course, I understand gender goes beyond man and woman. And so that's another intersectionality that is even farther beyond where we are now. There may be, the Democrats may be able to show that they can put those kind of numbers up in the future. We will see, right? But for now, I think the one thing the Democrats can actually celebrate is what they're projecting: support for intersectionality, specifically for women in leadership, women in politics. The projection actually matches the reality. And you can see that in the numbers right now in the race. And for the Democrats, that's very, very exciting. So very, very interesting outcome from New Hampshire. Really fascinating what's happening right now. And I think our next primary is Nevada. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. Thanks for letting me share these thoughts with you today. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.